Massive security operation remains in place around the French resort. But the arrival of thousands of extra police officers has done little to deter protesters keen to make themselves heard. Guillaume Petit reports from Biarritz.
Carefully unwrapped, a little gift for Emmanuel Macron, but not one that's very flattering. His official portrait, upside down, held aloft by demonstrators gathered in the streets near Biarritz to criticize the G7 host nation for what they call a lack of concrete actions to fight against climate change and to reduce social inequalities.
This is one of the official portraits of the French President Emmanuel Macron, removed from one of the city councils across France, and the demonstrators are holding it to denounce the G7.
Many portraits had been illegally removed by environmental NGOs, leading to numerous arrests over the past few months. Some packages only held fake portraits and others were just empty. This is an empty portrait that symbolizes the emptiness of Emmanuel Macron's policies. He's not respecting his commitments in favor of environment, and it's time to start at some point.
They will bring out beautiful promises and beautiful goals for 2050. But we must act now, not in 50 years.
The arrest of 68 people during scuffles with police on Saturday and the large security presence didn't deter protesters from asking for the release of the ones placed in custody. Elsewhere, the police tactics with the protesters also took tourists by surprise.
We were just passing on holiday and saw a very large number of police here, obviously connected it to G7, rightly or wrongly. And we certainly haven't seen as many police gathered in one place, I think, ever. So quite an impressive police movement.
By the end of the afternoon, protesters also tried to gather without authorization in Bayonne, but were surrounded by the police. A carefully planned operation that effectively shut down the entire town.
Well, Guillaume joins us live now for more on this from Biarritz. Guillaume, the protests we've seen, they've been quite small on the whole. Do the protesters feel that they've got their message across?
Well, we've been listening to their voices all the weekend, and it's clear that they take the G7 leaders for responsible for the matters like social inequalities or climate change. They say they don't expect anything from this summit, I quote, because there's never any concrete actions coming out of the G7. Someone told me yesterday it's just a small chat between powerful people. It shows clearly the gap between these leaders perceived as disconnected from the people and these protesters who feel powerless to face the issues such as climate change. So they've tried to make their voice heard all the weekend with protests, but not just traditional protests. They've also organized and coordinated actions meant to be viral, because they're realistic. They know that nothing might come out of this G7, according to them, nothing concrete in the short term, but they are using all the tools they have because they know it's also a war of communication.
Guillaume Petit, live there from Biarritz. Thanks very much.